What you're about to witness isn't just a heated exchange between two lawmakers with different views on immigration. It's a revealing moment that shows how power, representation, and even democracy itself are being framed in today's politics. Representative Andy Biggs attempted to present his argument as simple and non-controversial, that only citizens should determine representation.
This should not be controversial. Only Americans should decide American elections, and that means starting at the apportionment process, and that means starting at the census process. And so with that, Mr. Chairman.
Would the gentleman yield for a question?
Who's asking?
Frost.
Oh, hey, sure, go ahead, ask a question.
Well, because the whole first part of your argument had to do with the fact that somehow this helps Democrats. So there's a political issue here. But I'm just curious what you have to say about the fact that Donald Trump, as we speak, is actually creating more undocumented people in this country by doing things like ripping away TPS, right, for hundreds of thousands of Haitians in my district and in my state.
So here's the response to the question. I don't think he's creating more illegal aliens by taking away TPS. What does the T in TPS stand for?
He is creating
what is
more
the T?
No.
I answered your question. Answer mine. What does the T stand for?
Temporary protective status.
The T stands for temporary protective class. And here's the deal. Temporary parole status. That's what it stands for. And what that means is we're going to parole you in for a period of time. We have people who have been paroled in for their temporary period of time for more than 20 years. More than 20 years. And they won't go home.
So you're saying...
And I'm suggesting they need to go home. That's what President Trump's suggesting. I think that's what the American people want. And when we get back to this question...
None of the polls show that now.
I'm sorry?
None of the polls show that now. The American people are overwhelmingly against what this president's doing in immigration. In fact, for the first time in history, more people are with us in terms of
I'll take my time back. I was respectful and let you ask your question. I disagree with you. I disagree with your interpretation of what polling is saying. What I'm suggesting to you is this bill corrects an inequity. So let me give you an example. How many people are in Congress from California that shouldn't be here because you overcounted, including apportionment of illegal aliens? By some estimates, it's as high as 7. 7. My state has 9 representatives. Would we lose some? My guess is we might lose one.
The Constitution is clear that we count persons.
Okay, so from now on, when you're talking, I will interrupt you. Okay, is that fair? You were that rude. You were that rude. You didn't even let me finish my comment. You had to make your point. When you can raise your hand and say, hey, I'd like my 5 minutes. Now, while you're doing your 5 minutes, should I just interrupt you all the time? No, I won't, because you know what? I have courtesy and respect, something you lack.
And that the census and apportionment process should exclude undocumented immigrants. On its face, that framing is meant to sound procedural and neutral. But Representative Maxwell Frost immediately exposed what was really sitting underneath it, the political consequences and the human cost. Frost didn't just challenge the policy, he challenged the premise. He pointed out that while Biggs framed undocumented people as a static problem, current federal actions were actively creating more undocumented residents by stripping legal protections like temporary protected status. For communities like Frost's in Florida, particularly Haitian families, this isn't theoretical. It's about people who were lawfully present being pushed into legal limbo by political decisions made in Washington. That's where the exchange became sharper. Biggs leaned into a strict interpretation of temporary, arguing that TPS was never meant to last decades and that people should return home. Frost pushed back with polling data and public sentiment, arguing that Americans are not aligned with mass removals and destabilizing immigrant communities. At that point, the debate stopped being about census forms and started being about whose voices matter and who gets erased in the process. The most telling moment wasn't even about immigration numbers. It was about respect and power. When Biggs accused Frost of being rude and lacking courtesy, it underscored a familiar dynamic. Younger lawmakers, especially those representing diverse districts, are often expected to defer quietly, even when policies directly harm their constituents. Frost's insistence on interrupting wasn't about theatrics. It was about refusing to let a narrative go unchallenged in real time. What viewers should take away from this exchange is that the census is not just a headcount. It determines funding, representation, and political power for a decade at a time. Decisions about who counts are decisions about who gets schools, hospitals, roads, and a voice in Congress. When lawmakers argue about excluding millions of people from that process, they are shaping the political map of the future, often in ways that advantage some states and silence others. This moment laid bare a deeper question. Is the census about accurately reflecting the people who live and work in this country, or is it being used as a political tool to redraw power lines? That's the real debate beneath the shouting. If you want more breakdowns that go beyond the sound bites and explain what these clashes actually mean for democracy, representation, and everyday people, make sure to subscribe, share this clip, and stay engaged. These fights in committee rooms don't stay there. They shape the country we all live in.